Okay, today, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to work on partition each figure as indicated. Let's talk about what that means. You remember yesterday we talked about the word partition. Partition means to separate into equal pieces. So we're going to go ahead and separate into equal pieces. There's that word each. That means we're going to look at every figure. Figure means shape. As indicated. That means they want you to look at the description here. That's what it means as indicated. So we're going to look at these descriptions, and we're going to separate them, what these descriptions tell us to separate them into. Then, this is the second part. This is a two-part problem. We're going to write the unit fraction of the figure's area that each equal section represents. Again, there's a big mouthful there. But what we need to look at is that we're going to be writing. What are we going to be writing? We're going to be writing a unit fraction. Remember, unit fraction is a number 1, over a denominator, like 2 for 1/2, or 4. Okay? Now, it tells us to go ahead at each figure's area. So that means when we separate it, when we separate the into equal sections, we're going to look and see the area that was separated. What unit fraction does that equal? All right. So let's take a look at number 2. With all that being said, let's take a look at number 2. Okay. Number 2, it says we need to create 6 equal sections. I'm going to give you all a big hint. This is going to be a big tip when trying to separate in equal pieces, okay? You're going to want to first off look and see if it is odd or even. Take a look at the number 6. We should know that number 6 is even. Remember, because it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Those are even numbers. If it's even, what we can do, we can start out automatically, is we can go ahead and cut it right down the middle. Just get used to that. If it's even, cut it right down the middle. So now we've just created 2 equal sections, but we have to create 6 equal sections. All right? So there's the first step. So now our next step is going to be, we need to go ahead and create 6 equal sections out of this. Now, we can think to ourselves, okay, why don't we just look at this section right here? We want to create 6 equal sections, and we want to think to ourselves, what is half of 6? Well, you know, half of 6 is 3. So why don't we divide this into 3 equal sections? 1, 2, 3. And then why don't we go ahead and divide this into 6 equal sections as well? Or I should say 3 equal sections. I apologize. So now, we've created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal sections. 6 equal sections out of that rectangle. So let's go ahead. Now they want us to go ahead and write the unit fraction of the figure's area that each equal section represents. So if we took a look at one of these sections, what is that unit fraction? Well, we know it is 1 over 6. All right, let's take a look then at number 3. It says 2 equal sections. Well, again, this is an even number. We're looking for odd or even. And we know if it's an even number, first thing is we can go ahead and separate it down the middle. And here's the cool thing is we've already created our 2 equal sections. 1, 2. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and write the unit fraction for the figure's area of each equal section. So if I went and shaded this section right here, what unit fraction would that be? Well, we know there's 1 out of 2, 1/2. Let's come down to number 4. Again, first thing we want to do is we want to look and see if it's odd or even. We know it's even because 2, 4, 6, 8. So we can cut it down the middle. That's one way you can cut it down the middle. But there are other ways. You could cut it down the middle like that. You can cut it down the middle like that. Just as long as you have 2 equal pieces. Right there. And again, if I shaded one of these pieces, I would have 1/2 as that unit fraction. Okay? Let's take a look at number 5 then. All right? Again, we see 6 equal sections and we see 6 is an even number. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and cut it straight down the middle. Now circles are interesting, okay? And here's the reason why. If I try to go like this, am I going to have equal sections there? No, I am not. This section is not as big as this section. So what we have to do is we have to start by cutting it straight in half. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take this. We're going to want to go ahead and start in the middle and create equal sections around here. Remember, let's take our 6 and divide that in 2 because we want to go ahead and just do this area right here. Let's go ahead and divide that 6 into 2. So remember, 6 divided by 2, we should remember equals 3. So we want to go ahead and create 3 equal sections on this side. So I'm going to start from the middle. I'm going to go there. There's 1. There's 2, and there's 3. Now, it's not the easiest to do that, but that's kind of how I want you to look at it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it kind of looks like a pizza almost. So again, if I went and shaded that right there, I would have 1/6 as my unit fraction. Alright, let's take a look at number 6. Now number 6 is a little interesting because now we no longer have an even number, we have an odd number. So we are not allowed to cut it straight down the middle. When we do 3 equal sections, what we want to do is we want to imagine this rectangle being cut into 3s. So instead of coming right down the middle, I want to go ahead and go off to the center. Off the center, notice how it's not right in the middle. And again, off the center. So now I have 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. And again, if I shade one of those pieces, I should get 1/3 as my unit fraction. And now let's take a look at number 7. 8 equal sections, we're back to even numbers, so we can go ahead and cut it right down the middle. Now, I want to go ahead and take this section right here. If I divide 8 into 2 pieces, because we have 2 pieces right here, I'm going to get 4 for this section. So now, I can cut that in half. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can cut that in half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so if I shade one of those pieces, I should get 1 out of 8 because there are 8 pieces in all. So that's how I want you to look at dividing or partitioning up our pieces, our quadrilaterals, and creating unit fractions out of them. So here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go ahead and take a look at number 8 and number 9. You're going to go ahead and read what number 8 tells you to do. You're going to say it tells you to draw a square. Well, you're going to have to draw a square. Then it asks you to partition, remember, separating equal pieces, it into 4 equal sections. So you can do that. Take a square and separate it into 4 equal sections. Now, what unit fraction of the whole represents the area of each section? What they're asking you is once you separate that into 4 equal pieces and you shade one of those pieces in, what unit fraction is that? Alright, I want you to go ahead and do number 8, and I want you to go ahead and do number 9. And when you're done with that, take a look at the board to see what you're supposed to do. Thank you so much for tuning into this, and I will talk to you later.